Second, I started. I'm audible, right?
Yes, you're audible and clear.
Okay. So I'll begin the meeting. Everyone is ready.
Yes, you can start the meeting.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to meeting number 260. Few do's and don'ts before we begin the meeting. Please be seated in a peaceful atmosphere with good internet connectivity. Refrain yourself on speaking on taboo topics like sex, religion, and politics. You can use that reaction button below to applaud the speaker. And whenever you're not speaking, please be on mute. And whenever you're speaking, please unmute yourself. And once you finish speaking, please mute yourself. So use the reaction button below. And with this, I would like to welcome everyone who are present here. You can check who is present. I'm using my phone, that's why it's kind of difficult for me to check. So we have here with us our club coach, Bharti ma'am, and DTM Bharti and DTM Veera Kalpatia. Warm welcome to you, ma'am. They put in a lot of efforts to this meeting. They regularly attend meetings. I see sometimes that they are in the office and they listen to our meetings, and that shows your dedication to our club. Thank you so much for being a part of this meeting, and a warm welcome to you, ma'am. Always welcome to you to our club. And then we have with us Nikita Toastmaster, Nikita from Manipal Udpi Toastmasters. A warm welcome to you too. And one second. We have Kelvin, the guest here. Kelvin, welcome to the our meeting, our 260th meeting. And then we have our members as well. Itab, Jacob, Larsen, Ahmed, a warm welcome to you. And we have another guest, Suman Maskaran. A warm welcome to you also.
Suman was a former member.
Suman, yeah.
She's become a member now.
She's become a member.
She's been reinstated.
Oh, that's great. Okay, a warm welcome to everyone. So
Thank
with
you.
this, I would like thank you all. With this, I would like to hand over the control to Amit, who is already decked up for the meeting.
Decked up.
Yeah, with his hairband and already ready for the meeting. Yeah. So over to you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the board members of Inspiron Toastmasters Club, I, Amit, welcome everyone for today's meeting number 260th. Before I begin my session today, I would like to ask Kelvin.
Yes, sir.
Kelvin, yes. Since you're the guest today, I just wanted to know your expectations. Just maybe a 30-second answer. What is your
Okay.
expectation?
My expectations. Hello, everyone. My name is Calvin. I think when it comes to Toastmasters, everyone wants to develop on their public speaking, and that is my realistic expectation to improve on my speaking abilities in front of people. So, yes, Amit, that's it.
Thank you so much, and a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Again. We have Praveen, who's guest again for us. Praveen, how is your experience with us? This is your second meeting. Third meeting, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's the right time for you to be a member for us.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
What about? Can you tell us something about your experience here?
My experience so far is so nice, very nice. It's like a really early stage for me. It's just my third meeting. Actually, I think one more meeting and I'm done. Yeah.
All right. Done entering the club, is it?
Yes,
Or
yes,
I'm going to enter the club.
yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Praveen.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Dear Toastmasters and friends and guests, today is our 260th meeting, and I can say today should be our the last but one um, meeting for this term. I can say because the coming two meetings what we have is going to be a decision meeting where the club board members are going to decide on the new board that is going to come up in the month of June, and the club is going to wind up for the year 2020 and 2021. So I just thought of having a theme to reflect on the entire year, and thereby I thought of having the theme as reflecting your path. In most cases, we stray from the expected routes, anyways, right? Now, now that I know that I have come to my midlife, I midlife, and I am 40. Yeah, I am 40. Yes, of course. And I do see that I look back to the path that I have taken, the travel. Don't you think that you also have, in some point of time, that you have thought about, di- like, did you really plan your career goals, or probably some would have thought about their marriage or kids or travel or what kind of income. In most cases, we stray from the expected routes. And sometimes we end up in a better place than we could have ever imagined. Now, I just went through a book written by Madison Tyler in her book called There Are No Straight Lines in Nature or Life. And I would like to quote a small paragraph, and it goes like this. If you trek into the wilderness and look around with a careful gaze, you will see that trees, flowers, and even the rocks have a tendency to flow. There is the curve of the branch that leads to the blossom, the smooth dip in the rock formation, and fork of the shoots. As nature is overflowing with curves, corners, knots, or unexpected direction, so are lives filled with unpredictable twists and turns. While you may find yourself briefly on a straight path, there is sure to be a sudden change in route up ahead. The journey of life doesn't necessarily always bring you closer to your goal. In fact, sometimes you may find yourself backtracking in a wholly new direction. Because there is no way to predict the outcome, your journey simply living is in itself the path to wisdom. Dear members, what I meant to say is that we as Toastmasters, we have taken a path to learn something in speaking or to be a leader. And during this course of 1 year, what we have, we do get to sidetrack ourselves from what we intend to do. And I feel something had happened when I took my path, which is called presentation mastery. And in that, I could finish level 1 and level 2 with introducing myself, with evaluations, with mentoring, and to know the styles of my communication and leadership. But after that, I kind of got stuck. Now, what what happened over here? I just had to reflect the path that I was taking. I was involved in the district roles. I was involved in my personal life. All this is there, which is I'm not saying that this is going to be a distraction, but yes, I learned to manage things. I learned to juggle things. So, being in Toastmasters and having taken a path, though it might be presentation mastery, but it showed me a way how to tackle things, how to significantly maneuver myself and tackle every other problem that came in front of me and handle it in ease. With that said, let me introduce the agenda for today's meeting. In a normal Toastmasters meeting, we have three sessions. The first session being the prepared speeches, wherein the members come prepared with a speech and deliver it in front of the audience. The second session would be the table topic session, wherein an impromptu topic is given to the member present or the guest present, and the member and the or the guest is going to speak on the topic spontaneously using the creative thoughts that comes to the mind. This is basically to build up the creativity in you. The third section what we have is the evaluation section, wherein these prepared speeches given by the speaker would be evaluated by evaluators. With that three sessions, we would complete today's agenda, and moving on to the first session, the speeches by our speakers today. But before I call on to all those speakers, I would request today's general evaluator, DTM Veera, to introduce her team and their role for today. Over to you, TTM Veera.
Thank you, Amit. Uh, as my tag team, as it is called, we have timer, Maithili. So happy to see you, Maithili. I was just wondering who will be the timer. You are the perfect timer. You came in at the nick of time. We have our counter, Suman Mascarenis. I'll be meeting you for the first time, Suman. So welcome to Inspiron Club. And as the grammarian, we have DTM Bharti. Bharti, can you give the word for the day?
Yes, Amit, would you give me screen sharing rights? Make me co-host. I need to share the screen. Not a big thing, but I'm doing it for the first time on this device. So I'd like to try.
Go ahead, ma'am. I've given you the rights.
So the word for the day is a funny, strange word, gaslighting. It doesn't mean anything very positive. The meaning is given there: to manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity, where false information is presented to the victim, making them doubt their own memory, perception, and quite often their sanity. Or to use psychological manipulation to sow seeds of doubt in a person's mind. So the examples given are: denying he ever agreed to the deal, the shady salesman tried to gaslight the client, or he had been gaslighting her for years, which affected her belief in herself and made her question her own sanity. Ashley gaslighted Adam, making him believe that Sabrina's ghost is haunting him. And because she likes to gaslight people, Julia's mother warns her teachers of her manipulation. So the issue is, when we gaslight people, we make them wonder if they are hearing it right or they're thinking wrongly, or if there is something wrong with their own thinking. We're trying to manipulate people. That is the most important thing. So I've used this because generally we don't use words as a grammarian. I've always given words which have positive meanings, but then life can't always be a song and dance and positive aspect. This is on a light-hearted note. We can gaslight people into thinking that tomorrow corona will go away. Meaning that's how it is. So that please try, let's try to use the word, maybe in fun, maybe seriously, but let's try to use the word. Over to you. Thank you, Veera.
Thank you, Bharti. Amit, we do not have one evaluator, Rashmika.
Yes, ma'am.
Even
Ishwar Kiran,
two
Ishwar Kiran,
speakers, Ishwar is not there, and Izuddin, is he there?
Izzuddin is there. Ittaf, he's spelled as Ittaf. He's there.
So then Ishwar
Yes, ma'am.
and the evaluator both are not there.
Yes, yes, yes. yes.
Okay, yes. Over to you, Amit.
All right. Thank you so much, DTM Veera, and thank you so much, Bharti ma'am, for the word gaslighting. I hope the meaning is not the Kannada meaning called batti hakodu.
What is the Kannada?
Kannada word is batti hakodu, right?
The same thing. You're trying to fool somebody. That's it.
Correct,
You're
correct.
fooling somebody.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I request earnestly to all the members who come and speak here today to use the word of the day, gaslighting, and I hope you all have noted the meaning also to be used in. Moving on to our first speaker. Our first speaker today is Toastmaster Izzuddin Ittaf. Izzuddin Ittaf is a student at Yanapoya, and he is also a all college student president who he won the election recently. And uh, we have Toastmaster Fiona, who is going to evaluate Mohammed Izzuddin Ittaf's speech for today, and I would like her to read the objective of his speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Fiona.
Thank you, Ahmed. The objectives today, Toastmaster Izzuddin is in his level 1, project 1, that's icebreaker. Objectives of the speech are to begin speaking before the audience, to discover speaking skills you already have and skills that you need some attention. Timer, please note the time is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Amit, and and all the best, Toastmaster Izzuddin.
Toastmaster Ittaf. Toastmaster Ittaf. Izzuddin. Yeah, if you could switch on your video, please.
Hello.
If you could switch on your video, please. Ittaf, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, Ittaf, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, 1 second. There's a problem in the network. Give me like 2 minutes.
Yes, we can see you now.
Hello.
We can see and hear you now.
Yeah.
All right. Toastmaster Ittaf, it's your icebreaker today.
Is it like you can hear me, right? Like
Yes,
is
we
it
can hear
audible?
you.
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Over to you, Ittaf. You can start your speech.
The art of life. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay, let me start my speech. The art of life is to know how to enjoy a little and endure very much. Good evening, all. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity me to introduce myself to you. I am Izzuddin Muhammad Ittaf. I am 20 years old. We are family of 5 members in the family. I am Izuddin. I'm native to Mangalore. Currently, I'm pursuing BBA with Logistics and Port Management at the Yenapoya DMTBA University College. And I will be entering my first half of my graduation studies in the next couple of months. I enjoy analyzing things connect, connected to society and business field. I recently have been elected as the working president of All College Union. Since my childhood days, I have witnessed my families focusing upon correct utilization and household items and guiding us towards understanding of the whites and blacks of the possible outcomes. I believe this somehow boosted my interest towards logistics and port management as my career option. I have an analytical approach towards the things I do. I believe that helps me to understand the wide range of issues from what determines the price, causes, and consequences. My long-term goal is by gaining work experience of 4 to 5 years in the field of logistics and port management. I wish to open my own logistic company and be an entrepreneur, contributing to the betterment of my workplace and the society. Apart from my studies, I run a small business of my own and also a football player. My strength and analytical approaches, my human touch to the situation, and my appreciable communication and my presentation skills. I believe upon being realistic. In my free time, I enjoy spending time with my family, friends, sometimes cooking, traveling, and playing outdoor sports. I even enjoy playing with words in form of poems. I actually like to read out one of them to you. Stuck in a world where everything has gone wrong, nothing is going on my way anymore. New twists and turns have been made on that road I thought I had control in. Nothing is the same. Family and friends say that they notice a small change in me. What change? I cannot say. Whatever happened to everyone rooting and cheering me on. Now everyone has turned around me. Now I'm desperately searching for a way out of this world. But the thing is, I end up running in circles. I had the map of a perfect world, but someone stole it now. I want my life back and my map too, but right now I can't get it back now. I started writing poems because I felt I could convey my feelings better, and it has always made me feel better. My poems are almostly based on teenage life and what they go through. But now this is all about me. Thank you giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Wonderful Toastmaster Itaf.
Thank you.
It was indeed a pleasure listening to you, your poem, your background. It's nice to have you here in our Toastmasters Club. Thank you
Thank
very much. A big round of applause once again to Toastmaster Itaf. Moving ahead, our second speaker for today is Toastmaster Jacob. Toastmaster Jacob is our wonderful senior most person in our club, and we always are eager to hear his surprise elements in his stories, in his speeches, the twists and turns that is there in his speeches. To evaluate Jacob, we have Toastmaster Larson. Toastmaster Larson, if you could please read out the objectives of Jacob Sir's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Larson.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. The objective of Jacob's first speech, or Toastmaster Jacob's first speech, is the purpose of this project is to the member to learn about the different communication styles and identify his or her his primary style, and also uh, propose the speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on other. So timer, please note that time for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Larson, for the objectives being read for Toastmaster Jacob Koshi. Toastmaster Jacob Koshi, your speech for Pathways Level 2 in Presentation Mastery, understanding your communication style. Joined me and remember me, Toastmaster Jacob Koshi. Toastmaster Jacob Koshi joined me and remembered me. Over to you, Toastmaster Jacob.
What is the use of speaking to an audience if the audience doesn't understand my speech? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a very good evening to all of you. As a speaker, it is my duty to make the audience understand my message. Otherwise, I would have wasted this precious time. In order to do that, I need to communicate properly. And for that, I have to know my styles, my flaws, and my good points. So, my dear Toastmasters, let me relate to you some examples of speaking styles I have incurred in my real life and in Toastmasters, and my conclusions on them. After the Zoom meeting started last year in our club, I had taken up a lot of roles, and those who heard me, heard my speeches, know very well that I swallow a lot of words. And at the end of the sentence, my voice trails off, and barely you can hear the last word. This is not something new. It has been in existence for many years. Now I have exposed myself. Let me give you some real examples which I went through. I worked in an interior design company where most of the designers were French or Italian. Like us, they too are more comfortable in their mother tongue rather than English. My MT was a French. He knew English, but his pronunciation was a little difficult to understand. And his grammar, let me give you two examples. If he wants to say, I will meet you at the site, for that he will say, joined you at the site. It is understandable. And another example is, if he wants to say, remind me about this problem when I come back to the office, we'll see, remember me in the office. Both are understandable. Maybe Italian or French grammar in English. Basically, he was a very nice guy and very professional in his work. Unfortunately, he died last year and I miss him a lot. Anyway, coming back to the subject. One day in one of our clients' palatial villa, there was an urgent modification to be done. And I was driving and the MD called me on my mobile. He started explaining the modifications to be done and the instructions to do it. Usually I understand whatever he says on the mobile. Maybe that day he was not in a good mood, or maybe he was in a hurry, I'm not sure. He spoke for about 15 minutes without a break. I couldn't understand a thing. When he finished talking, I asked him, can you please repeat it? I didn't understand a thing. He got so furious. He let out some of the choicest French juicy words and slammed the phone down. You know what? I understood every one of that French juicy word rather than the instructions to do the modification. Anyway, basically what I was trying to tell is correct pronunciation and speed of communication is very important. The MD couldn't convey the message to me because he was speaking too fast and I couldn't understand his pronunciation. So speak slowly, do correct pronunciation. These are what those styles in that example. Now let me come to another example. Very long back, when I started Toastmasters, I was doing my second speech in Toastmasters. In the old curriculum, the objectives of the second speech was organize your speech with a nice, catchy opening, good subject, and a good conclusion. It was a combined meeting between our club and an Arab club. Since it was my second speech, I wanted to show off how knowledgeable I am. So in the purpose, I forgot the purpose of the speech. I used a lot of high sounding words and complicated sentences. The speech was well received. Maybe they were nice to me. But I sensed some uneasiness among the audience. Then the evaluation started. And the evaluator was a champion evaluator. He started off nicely with some good points. Then the flood of criticism started. It was a massive flood, actually a deluge. I just wanted to run away from there. Point blank, he told me, with your high sounding words and complicated sentence, we didn't understand anything. And he directly asked the audience, did any one of you understand? I thought to myself, was this evaluator gaslighting? Anyway, finally, he gave me some good advice. He said, use short sentences and simple words. If we use long sentences, the audience will forget the first part of the sentence. After that, I never looked back. And I won a lot of awards after that. So here what I'm trying to tell is, use simple words and short sentences, which audience can understand. Then I come to the next style actually. It is a two-way communication, which all of you know. When the person A talks, B listens. And when B talks, A listens. Usually it is a gentlemanly way. But most of the 90% of the time, when A talks, B too talks. Both don't listen to each other. But both make their point. How? By raising their voice. And it is very common. And I think this is called crosstalk. The term crosstalk appeared sometime in 70s and 80s when we were using phone lines, when there was a cross among the physical lines. So avoid crosstalk and listen to others. So in summary, what I was trying to tell is, correct pronunciation is very important. Speed of a communication, say slowly, use simple words, use short sentence, no crosstalk, and allow oneself to listen to others. Finally, I'll end with another communication style. I call it is French communication style in English. Maybe you'll understand it, or maybe not. Anyway, I'll tell that. Remember me about the next physical meeting of the Inspire On Club, and I will join you there. Back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jacob. Indeed, we will remember you for our next meeting. All right, moving on ahead, we have our third speaker for today. It's Toastmaster Ashrita. Toastmaster Ashrita is on her level 4 project. And we have her evaluator, Toastmaster Nikita from Manipal Udupi Toastmasters. Toastmaster Nikita, would you please read out the objectives for Toastmaster Ashrita? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Toastmaster Ashrita is on her Engaging Humor Path Level 4 Project 2 speech. The objectives, this is a question and answer session. So the objectives of a speech, of the objectives of this project is for the speaker to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice, the speaker to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The speaker is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. Timer, please note the time is 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. So the green card will be raised at 15. The amber or yellow will be raised at 17 and a half. Yeah, 17 minutes, 30 seconds. And the red will be raised at 20. Thank you. All the best, Toastmaster Ashrita, and back to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikita. Toastmaster Ashrita, how would you want to time your speech in case like you want to have a question and answer session? You want to end your speech, or like is it a mix of question and answer while you're giving the speech?
Yes, I would appreciate if I would give, they would sort of inform me when it's 10 minutes, because at 10 I'm going to stop my speech and 5 minutes I'll keep for question and answer. But in case in between I ask some questions, so possible any one of y'all can switch on your mic and answer, because it's going to be a little interactive.
Okay,
Yeah.
so timer, if you can please show a green at 10. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
All right. All right. Toastmaster Ashrita, a time to ponder, a time to ponder.
Amit,
Yes, yes, yes.
Amit,
Yes, Ashrita.
sorry, Amit, I just had to share my screen as well. Yeah, I just had to share my screen. So I'll do that now, and then you can start maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
Thank
before
you.
before ma'am, you go ahead. So I show my green flag, the green
Yeah.
digital screen at 10 and the amber one at 17.5, 17 and a half seconds.
Correct. You can
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Over to you, ma'am.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Ashrita, you're ready?
Good evening, everybody. Sorry. Yes, I'm ready. You can. Yeah.
All right. A time to ponder, Toastmaster Ashrita. Toastmaster Ashrita, a time to ponder.
Well, good evening, everybody. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Well, looking at this picture, I think y'all would have guessed what I'm going to talk about, right? Well, this is my bread and butter. Well, this is my passion. It may not be the same passion for y'all, right? So my passion cannot be your passion. So let me not bore you with this topic, and let me move on to this. All right. So looking at this, what do you think it is? So y'all can probably go ahead, unmute yourself, because I cannot see all the participants on the screen. You can just go ahead, unmute yourself, and just answer to this question. What exactly do you think this is? Anyone?
It looks like a water tank.
Yes,
Something
of course
to
it is.
store water.
Biogas unit.
Yes,
Biogas unit.
Yes, I got few answers like a biogas unit. I got Bharti ma'am saying it's a storage unit. Nikita also said it's a storage unit. Absolutely right. It is a storage unit. But let me go in depth, and could you all tell me, why are we storing water here? Anybody?
Rainwater harvesting.
It's rainwater. Storing
Exactly,
rainwater.
I think. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
rainwater.
yes, thank you so much for all your inputs. Exactly, this is rainwater harvesting. Well, all through these days, I just stumbled upon this topic, and it was so interesting. Being in an apartment for the past 7 to 8 years, needlessly, I had to say I was always looking at this huge black extension above my parking lot. Neither did I think that it would be something much more of an importance. When asked my security guard, he said, Madam, oh, rainwater harvesting, madam, which I'm going to convert. He said, Madam, that is a rainwater harvesting unit. I was thinking like such a wonderful topic and for everybody to ponder upon and to reflect upon. So this is a unit of a rainwater harvesting system. Well, did you all understand what exactly this is now? It's so confusing. It is a schematic representation of a rainwater harvesting unit. Well, I had this was a project from an engineering student which I just picked up, and it was so precisely self-explanatory, but not to me. With all the valves and extensions, I was confused a little bit. So more so, rainwater harvesting is very important. Why? Well, we all know that water is one of the most important element in the universe. Nothing is possible without water. The human body is 80% water. So don't you think we need to conserve water? Water is of prime importance, and more so, as I have read in some of the articles, places in Africa are having a dearth of water. They literally pay to buy water in gallons or in a small water tank to be placed at home. So water is the most precious thing. And what do we think we are doing with water? Don't you think the water which is got from the rain is going a waste? It's very precious. And again, please note and please take time to think about it. I have seen rainwater harvesting units in a lot of places, but a few of them caught my attention. Well, this is again the schematic representation of the whole thing, which I have just got from the net, downloaded from the net, which there is a possibility for you all to understand it carefully. That is why I took this picture. But to give you more insight on the rainwater harvesting, well, the Western world have taken rainwater harvesting into another proportion, into another dimension. German Frankfurt Airport is totally rainwater harvested. Even the London Olympic Park is totally rainwater harvested, and it consists of something called as minimal skills, and it also has something called as an automated paraphernalia required. For minimal skills, it is minimal skill output unit. It is a totally small unit which is manageable, even in the form of lakes, even in the form of huge tanks where water is stored from the rainwater. So in this picture, as you can see, the basic water harvesting is connecting the roof with the pipe which are with a mesh so that there's no leaf or any debris entering the pipeline. The pipeline is then gotten and attached to a filter. So this filter will help you to filter any other debris. From that filter, it is going to go into numerous filters with microns of mesh in it, so that the debris which consists of various dimensions are filtered out and being expelled out. So along with this pre-filters, which is like a whole of a vortex filter, there are a lot of storage containers, there are pumps, there are treatment devices, there are UV lights, there are chlorinated devices, and a port filtration device. So all of this consists of a whole harvesting unit. And of all the words I've told you, the most important thing is whether the water which is got out from it is drinkable, whether the water which is got out of it is usable. For that content, for that, there is a major use of or the cost factor comes into picture, because these filters use a lot of mesh, and it is a lot of uh, it is a very costly affair. And also we need to chlorinate this. Well, if you take into picture in olden days, back early, you have seen how people collect waters, just store water in huge earthen pots, and they also add alum to it just to purify the water. So that is the initial water harvesting techniques which was followed way back. Rainwater harvesting by fresh water, flooded forest, etc. are also used. Well, can you see this? Doesn't it look like a flag? Well, it is not a flag. It is a one method of fog harvesting. Well, when I saw this picture, I was thinking, what? It looks like a huge screen. I mean, what is it? So this is just a part of the paraphernalia used in fog harvesting, where the fog hits the screen and then it is sedimented into water. So this procedure was rather very interesting. Another thing was this architectural structure, which I saw very interesting to see, with a lot of big holes in it. So I was wondering, how would they harvest water in this form, where there is a lot of filters which are situated on the upper chamber of this dome, which is later called as air paneling, where the water is sedimented, and through the holes or the escape ways, it is used in condensation of water. Well, this is a natural organic way of condensation, I suppose. So another technique which is almost going to be used in India in a large scale is salination unit. Well, our government is also, pressure not pressurizing. Government is giving more incentives on people who are water harvesting. Government is supporting them. So this is a salt water salination unit. Imagine if salt water can be purified or desalinated and supplied, that would be such a good aspect. And I don't think so there would be any dearth of water in the society. But the only problem in desalination is to remove the salt content is rather a laborious task. It is a task which involves labor. It is a task which involves a lot of grants, a lot of financial funds. So this is going to be a laborious task for the government, but rather it's another thing to ponder upon. Well, after talking about all this, I do think that we need to reduce our consumption of water. We need to reuse and recycle water as well. So I hope this whole presentation sheds a little light to you, and let us not start gaslighting about the situation, and let us concentrate on more positive aspects such as conservation of water, conservation of energy. In what little way you can start with it. Start with a small little way. There are also solar panels which help in conservation of energy. Well, look around, because that is the best way you can be more innovative. As I was looking at my parking lot, where I saw this black thing hanging on the wall, which is the filter of a water harvesting unit. Well, thank you so much. And now I am open to questions. If anyone has got any questions, can just unmute and go ahead and ask me questions. So please do not hesitate to ask anything. Every question is very important.
Hello,
Any?
Ashrita.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
No,
sir.
it's not the same actually.
Yeah.
Because I have worked in desalination plant because I worked where there was a golf course and it was they wanted it is in Gulf, and there we don't get fresh water. Most of the
Okay.
water is desalinated. I just wanted to just tell you that why the desalination plants are little unpopular. It is mainly because they consume a lot of electricity.
Correct.
Because they use a semi-permeable membrane and they force the water into the other side, and it needs a lot of electricity. Otherwise, it was a nice one. Okay, back to
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I have also read that, because when I was searching, I have also read about it, sir. Thank you for the input. You're so correct, because recently, even one of the international grants which I have seen is that India is going to sort of, because I think it was Israel which has already got, and all the Middle East countries, which, like how you mentioned, has also got this salination unit. And exactly as you said, this was one of the point which was mentioned in the like guidelines what was given in the salination plant. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Any more questions? Anybody?
Africa,
Yes.
I have a question which is probably it is going to form into a debate, but anyway,
Yes.
I would like to ask this. Now, considering the fact that Mangalore is reducing its tar roads or the mud roads and it's converting all the roads into concrete roads. Now,
Yes.
Mangalore is supposed to be the Chirapunji of India,
Yeah. East.
and we
Yes.
have so much rainfall. And in the past few years, we have seen the rainwaters flood the entire area, and the water is lost. And
Exactly.
and Mangalore, the soil being very what do you call the laterite soil, wherein the water absorbs into the ground very easily. All right, so we actually do not have a shortage of water, but we lose a lot of water to the sea. Uh, if and to see, we have got many rivers and streams going around uh, in the city itself, but if we are losing water in such a way, and if I remember correct, few years back we did have a desalination
Yeah.
plant, small unit, which came into the New Mangalore port also. I mean, why is the government not
Exactly.
thinking about saving water over here rather than putting loads of taxpayers' money into a new investment? What do you have to say for that?
Exactly, Amit. I do agree with you because we have abundance of water, but we do not have any method to use that water. Uh, Imagine our Mangalore and most of the western western coastline is got abundance of water because we are situated in such a geographic position. Because of the Western Ghats, we receive a lot of water, but we have been working on the wrong solution. Recently, even the not recently, it was in the past, Yettinahole, the whole beyond was blown out of proportion just because of providing water to one part and depriving water to the other part, as you said. So there was a major chaos regarding that whole situation. What I feel, which is really going to be, now that the government and your possibility, everyone is concentrated on the corona eradication scheme. I think this aspect is a very very good point. And probably I think what else we can do is we can conserve water at home, but on a larger scale it would be better to, there has to be some geographical or construction of pools or construction of large frontiers which can, hold the water from entering the sea. Because once it enters the sea, it's going to be very difficult. Like how Jacob sir also said, it's going to be a very horrendous job, and it's going to hit it hard on us taxpayers if they start with a new project. Thank you, Amit, for that question. Anybody else? With the I mean, I think very important points today. So I can see the green flag. So if anybody is yet
Is there,
uh,
actually, I have a question. Is there
yes, Roy.
any cost-effective way for rainwater harvesting so that everyone can implement?
Yes, absolutely. There is a cost-effective way. In fact, Anita University, Shema is utilizing the same thing. But the thing is, only problem is we cannot use it on our utility services, for example, like drinking purposes. But what in Nitte, like to give you an example, they treat it with chemicals which could be a little damaging to us to ingest, but it can be used for your garden. because in Nitte we've got a huge garden in front. So what the water is conserved and then utilized, it is treated. Of course, this is, I mean, there are boards written everywhere because we have sprinklers around the campus and they've written there, this water is not used for drinking purpose. It's only used for the watering the plants. But as you said, there are techniques which I have seen. In fact, in our apartment they have used, but they've used where they collect water, like how I explained, through the pipeline, and then you just need 3-4 types of filters. So this can be used for again, not utility, washing purposes, flow, I mean, in and around, but not for domestic purposes, as in ingesting it or drinking it. So there are certain ways, cost effective ways, Royal. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Toastmaster Ashrita, can I?
Yes, Lasan, please.
I have two questions basically.
Yeah.
One is what would be the one is the cost effective method. One that is was what Royal asked.
Yeah.
So second one is like what is the education that we have to give to the masses? Like if we have to conserve it, it has to reach to the large number of audience.
Yes.
So what would it take for us to reach the masses? One is that. Second, is there any traditional method of purifying the rainwater that we have collected?
Sorry, Larson, what is the third question?
The second question is there any traditional method that we can use instead of having the devices which cost maybe thousands?
Okay. Yeah, first question, I think we just the same what Royal asked me, so the answer remains the same. The second, is there an the second thing what you asked me was how do you give training to such personnel? This is totally based on the corporation, Mangalore Corporation, and the public health, like how the public health department is helping us with the vaccination. So it is the duty of the public health as well to give us probable teachings or lectures about the water conservation. So all you need to do is, this is what I have gathered, is like you have to write to the corporation, and possible you can they could come and reply to you, because there is a helpline and they could definitely reply to you regarding this. So this is one approach which I'm sure they're going, you'll have to run pillow to post, because it depends on the corporation again. But that is the technique which most of them usually follow. And the third, was there a third question? Yeah.
Yeah, is there any traditional method that we can do it in low cost, very low cost?
Yeah, I'm afraid other than that, there is no traditional method, because of the thing is, in India, I can say, because I think we can say slightly unfortunate that way. In abroad, in the Western world, what they do is you can drink water directly from the pipeline, because the water itself is balanced with the normal pH and is already fluoridated with the correct amount of fluoride, and it is supplied in the water pipes. Whereas unfortunately in India, it is not done. So even so, that holds for rainwater as well. The rainwater, once it is exposed in the atmosphere, it is exposed to a lot of microorganisms. So it is next to impossible to use it in a traditional method, as such as just storing it and sedimenting it, and then you take it directly from it, because even the water from the well is supposed to be not that pure nowadays because of so many microorganisms. So traditional, I'm afraid, wouldn't work good for drinking purposes, but to water the garden, etc., you could use the traditional method. Yes, thank you, Lassen, for the
Ashrita,
question.
I
Yes.
have a question. What is
Yes,
that?
Zina.
Which country is using that don't like thing? I mean,
The air, is it
yeah,
the one which I showed you?
the huge
Well,
don't like thing that you lot of mesh, the whole menu
yeah,
is
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Which
Well,
country is it?
Yeah, I'm afraid, Zina, I do not know the country, but I can surely, probably at the end of the speech, I can put it on the chat box. I can just go on to the net and I can put it on the chat box because this is the matter which I got from the net itself. So I was just going into the technique, what it is followed, but I didn't notice the country. So I shall check, I shall go on the net,
Yeah.
check the country, and I'll put it on the chat box for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zina.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see our timer Maithili with a red flag there. So thank you everybody for your lovely inputs. It was a real great session and thank you for so much interaction. Thank you Toastmaster Royal, Toastmaster Jacob, Toastmaster Amit and Toastmaster Zina and Toastmaster Larson for the lovely questions. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashrita. Indeed, saving water is the key for the future. And with your session, we will all have it in mind to save water for the future. So, dear members, this brings to the end of our prepared speech session. Moving on to our second session, which is the table topic, which is impromptu speaking. And we have with us our very own Toastmaster Royal D'Souza, our VP membership, the champion of champions of public speaking. Over to you, Toastmaster Royal, for the table topic session. And I request the newcomers and the guests to participate in the table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Royal.
Yesterday, I had a dream, but today I realized it was a reality. No, I'm not trying to gaslight you, but do you want to know what was the dream was about? Alice was walking in a mysterious wonderland, a world beyond reality. And do you know who was there with me, along with her? It's us, the Inspironians and the guests of today's meeting. But we were invisible to her. She couldn't see us, but she could only hear us, like her inner voice. Alice is in an adventure, but she has a problem. She finds difficult to make decisions. As she was walking into a dense forest, a mystical purple colored cat with green eyes appears. I will guide you in this journey, says the cat. But you have to answer my question at least for a minute. She shouts, "It's impossible." The cat says something, but I don't know what did the cat say. But only the chosen person can hear and answer it. So I would like to know who wants to be the chosen person over here.
Bharati ma'am.
Always ready.
Anita,
Okay.
Anita,
If there are people who don't have things to do, they can offer, you can give it to them.
Suman, Anita, take over.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, yes.
Praveen, Supriya, try.
So you'll have to take names and call them.
Yes. Anita, are you there? Suman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Can you take up a topic then to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you have to interpret it in your own way. So there is no right and wrong answers as such. So it's like it is impossible only if you believe in it.
Sorry, I did not understand you.
It is impossible only if you believe it.
It is impossible only if you believe it.
Yes.
Okay. It is impossible only if you believe it. Sorry, I don't know anything.
You can just speak, Anita, anything.
Yeah, Anita, what he means is, I think, what he's saying is, if somebody tells you something is impossible and you believe that person, then it becomes impossible.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
If somebody says something is impossible, then we have to think for whether it is possible for me or not. I have to understand my limits and my opportunities also to go through it. And if I have the positive vibes, then I can go through it. And we have to work on it and make the things possible. Thank you.
All right. Yes, all right. So now Alice, with the help of Anita, she moves ahead and now she finds 10 different paths. Again, the mystical cat appears and now we are looking for the chosen one once again. So who wants to be the chosen one?
Suman?
Suman?
Yeah, what is the question?
Yeah.
We will tell you the question now.
Okay, you can interpret it however you want it to be. So the statement is, if you do not know where you are going, it doesn't matter which path you take. If you do not know where you are going, it doesn't matter which path you take. Or in other words, like, we should have a clear vision of, where we want to go, or else we'll be lost.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, good evening, Toastmaster, and all the dear guests. Yeah, so in life, I mean, at whatever stage we are in, okay, we need to have clear goals for life. Okay, so when we do not have clear goals in life, I mean, we feel lost in between. Okay, so say for example, like you have a goal, okay, you are a working person, married with kids, you have commitments. Whatever you earn, at least 75% of the money goes in the expenditure for your school, for the school fees or house expenses or car loan, etc. So you have a goal, say for example, in your life to buy a house. Okay, so for you, you feel okay. It is impossible. All my 75% of my earnings, I'm the only person who is earning, and the 75% of my earning goes for all my expenditure. And how can I contribute 25%? But if you have a goal, okay, a life goal to buy a house, and if you every day, if you visualize your aspiration, so this is your aspiration to build a house, so you have to aspire or visualize, okay, every day, okay, this is my goal, I'm going to build a house in another or buy a house another 5 years down the line. Okay, so when you have a clear goal and when you visualize your goals or aspirations, what you have in life, definitely it would be possible to accomplish your goal in life. Thank you.
Huge round of applause to Suman. Thank you, Suman. And thanks a lot for helping Alice to move forward. You gave her a direction.
Thank you.
Now, as Alice proceeds, she comes across some weird people and she's very much confused. Now again the cat appears, and now again you're looking for the chosen one. So who wants to be the chosen one again?
Praveen? Supriya? Can you try? ಸುಪ್ರಿಯಾ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Where's Fiona? Fiona?
Yeah, I'm here. My video is not on.
Okay, okay.
Supriya is not there. Supriya?
Supriya?
Maybe she's not near the system.
Okay, Fiona. So what the cat says, the statement is, we are all mad in one or the other way.
Oh, that's a topic. Oh, okay, sorry. Because I was thinking something is more to it. Because yeah, that is true. We all are mad some or the other way. I do agree. Not mad, I can say, was
How can you be mad?
sometimes I am insane. What is it, Amit?
How can you be mad with the cat?
I'm mad with the cat. Yeah. Mm. I've told you this story. We are all unique, and we all react very uniquely to different situations. I didn't know my friend and I are little more crazy when this after this incident happened. What happened was once we were traveling from Bajpayee to Mango to Bajpayee in around at 7 p.m. in the evening. So all of a sudden we saw something on the road, and and it was a very big python. Once again, I rolled my phone and didn't talk. Okay, so it was just literally, I mean, I can't even show that big python, okay, on the road and in the evening. So we both were so scared. I mean, I wanted to save the python. I screamed and somehow took my vehicle. We were traveling in a two-wheeler. Then still my friend told, why don't we see what is it again? Again, I turned. We came. I started peeping. Oh, it's python. And by the time it reached the middle of the road, a bus started coming. And I started screaming, telling, hey, stop, don't do anything. And people thought, what's wrong with this female? Because they could not hear me talking. Okay, and they could not see the python. I was just jumping in the middle of the road. And my friend was like, thank God, I have a helmet. Okay, it was something a crazy moment. So we all are mad in some or the other situation. We are crazy that whatever is there, though we are sometimes formal, that comes out in some or the other situation. So this is what happened, and by the time we reached Bajpayee, we saw the same bus. So she was telling, "Oh my God, I was more worried. I was thanking God that I had a helmet on, seeing your behavior. Somehow Python was saved. We reached safely to Bajpayee. So this is it. Over to you, table topic master Royal."
A huge round of applause to Fiona Morris. Okay, thank you, Fiona, for helping Alice to move forward once again. And she passes the Python as well. And now again, she comes across the crossways. Now some paths are long and some paths are very short. Now again, she's confused. Now again, the cat appears. Now again, we can't hear the question. Only the chosen one can hear the question. So who's the chosen one? Who wants to be the chosen one now?
Yeah. Zina, you want to try? Zina, after a long time, please try.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So the statement is, Zina, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk far, walk together.
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmasters and friends. Well, this is a very, kind of very good topic, I feel. When we walk alone, we walk fast because there is no one to chat with, and we speed up, and we are in a hurry to walk alone. We don't have any companion to talk to, so we keep going alone and walking alone. And even in our work, the same way, when we concentrate in our work alone, like not as a team, so we give 100% in that, so that it will help benefit the other team members as well. But when we walk together, we walk slowly because we want the other person to hold his hand so that he also comes along together as a team. And we walk together. Same way, when we are working together as a team in the office, we would like to, kind of interact with people and finish off our projects at the same time. So this is what this topic I like the most. Thank you. I don't know how much time I've taken, but it's a very interesting topic. Maybe I'm telling you from my experience. Thank you, Rowan, Toastmaster Rowan.
Yes, a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Zina Lewis. And I am sure your experience has helped Alice to move forward. And now, as Alice listens to Zina and takes us all together in her journey, now it's the end of her path. Now she has the last obstacle in front of her. Now she sees a monster. a monster, and this monster has a body of a human, a head of a ram, and long horns. He roars like a dinosaur. This time, Alice is petrified, numb, and cold like an ice statue. She turns back, but there's no one to support her. Now the cat appears again, waiting for the chosen one. Now, who wants to take the next topic?
Rajwal? No, Praveen? Praveen? Is Praveen there?
Nikita?
I'm here if I can take the topic if there's nobody else.
Maitli? Would you want to try the timer? No?
No, not today. Not today.
Okay, Nikita. So the statement is, what we see depends upon what we look for.
Wow. Okay. What we see depends on what we look for. This is so true and so such a powerful statement. Sometimes two people can look at the same thing and see different things. I would see a stone and it would just appear as a stone, but probably a sculptor would look at it and see a beautiful statue. We all look at, they may say that you don't judge a book by its cover, and I think this proverb or this quote that you said, it's sort of similar. We tend to see things the way we want to see things. We don't, and especially as somebody who has practiced as a lawyer for a couple of years, there are so many instances that I can where families, they end up fighting in these very ridiculous cases. They file case upon against each other. They come to the court and they give false statements against each other just to gain a few things, and not realizing that at the end, what they earn from that, what they get from that is so less. As in, if it's a family dispute, they probably would want to get maybe they would want to gain some property or some money out of it, but at the end they end up losing precious relationships that are more precious than the small pitiful sum that they get. And sometimes it so happens that there are cases languishing in courts. There are cases from 1964, and I'm not getting the year is right, 1964, and property disputes. So the person who filed the case does not get to enjoy it. His kids are right now in the court fighting for a property which they probably will also not get to enjoy in their lifetime. So for me, it is so simple that, just reach a settlement. Okay, maybe you do not like the other person, but reach a settlement and try to get at least 50% out of it. Okay, you keep 50%, give me 50%. At the end of the day, at least you'll get to enjoy some of it. If because if you keep on fighting, it so happens that nobody will get anything, and it's only your lawyers who will keep on who will keep on getting richer. So I so many times I used to feel, why can't these people just open their eyes and just see the truth? So yeah, I think Roel, I really agree with what you said. Sometimes what we see is, I'm sorry, I forgot the earlier statement, but thank you, and back to you, Roel.
A huge round of applause to Nikita. Well said, beautifully articulated, and thank you so much for participating. And of course, you have helped Alice to move forward as well. And now this is the end of her journey. Now she approaches the monster and he looks at her. And then I really don't know what happened. I just woke up from my dream. But what did I learn from this adventure? I learned that we are all product of our choices. Sometimes we find ourselves in cross paths, a difficult situation in life, or a monstrous fear. The fear might be the self-doubt, low confidence, or some personal issues. When we turn around, we won't find anyone to support us. But all we hear is the inner voices talking to us, motivating us and guiding us and telling us that we can do it. So next time, when you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember this story and remind yourself that you have a choice to change things around you. You have a choice to listen to your inner voice or ignore it. Over to Tia Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Royal. A huge round of applause to our table topic master for today, Royal. Indeed, it was a very beautifully done session, and the Alice in Wonderland definitely the story which we all cherish. Thank you so much. Uh, we have now come to end of the second session. Now we will move on to the third session, which is the evaluation session. And to do the honors, we have DTM Veera. DTM Veera, over to you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Amit. Let me start with the evaluators for the prepared speeches. May I call upon Fiona first to evaluate Izzuddin?
Good evening, everyone. And now a special good evening to the speaker, Izzuddin. You began the speech actually really well, where you tend to use the quote, but then you used your own quote there, like life is an art, all that. Okay, you began. Yourself.
We can't hear you, Fiona. I think it is muted.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Once again, can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Sorry, it's I have network issues here. That's a problem. So again, I'll begin again. Good evening, everyone, and a special good evening to the speaker, Toastmaster Izzuddin. So you actually began with a small quote that it was very simple quote. It was not copied from the Google, which normally speakers do. It was something of your own. You began it well, and then later you introduced yourself, and then in the body of the speech you spoke more about you telling what are your hobbies, what you wanted to, what you're interested in, and what you want to do in future. So you're very clear on that, and then at the end you concluded with the quote. So it was a well crafted speech. And the first time when I saw you really calm, and it was the confidence was seen on your face. You were actually calm, and the way you spoke was really it was soothing. Someone felt like listening to you. It was not like you were nervous or anything. I actually like the way you spoke. You said you want to become a realistic speaker, and I do agree you can do a great job because you speak from your heart. It's clear. It's very evident from today's speech. You speak from your heart. You spoke really well, and I literally loved it. And you used when you started talking about poem, I started wondering, oh my god, now those flamboyant words will come into picture, and now I will lose my track of thoughts. So but then no, it was not like that. You were not Shakespeare there. You spoke very even the poem was very simple, where every one of us could understand. What happens is when you are used to writing poems, you try to show off your words where people don't understand. You don't make your language simple, but here no, not like that. You actually made your language very simple, so all of us could understand. And it's like an icing on a cake, where when you have to speak and you know to write poems, it's really good. You're lucky enough for that. And most of the time when few of the speakers like me, if we have to take a poem, we literally copy from the Google. But you're lucky enough that will really help you go further in your speech to be a better speaker. And your gestures were restricted, maybe because you were sitting and talking. What happens is when we are sitting and talking, we cannot see a lot of gestures. So it's better whenever we speak. Most of the times we stand and speak to the audience, so we should get used to it. So I think Izzuddin, if you had stood up and given the speech, it would make it quite better, because I would come to the audience, and I would come to know what are your gestures and what you want to actually express. And when you were looking at the camera. I don't know. You are constantly looking at the camera. Maybe it's just a camera. You cannot look at the audience. But that's very nice if you could just look at the camera once and maybe a little different, eye movements. That would be good. And the speech was a little monotonous. So though you had poems, a lot of things in your speech, what happens is in between you tend to lose track. So therefore it was a little monotonous. There should be a little variation in a tone, a very little, not over dramatic, a very little variation in your tone. You were, and I liked what I liked about your speech was you were not dramatic. I like simple speeches, and you were there, and you met the speech objectives. Uh, uh, all the best, Izzuddin. You will be really a good orator. All the best. And it was really amazing speech. This first speech, I liked it. Over to you, the general evaluator, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Fiona. May I now call upon Larson to evaluate Toastmaster Jacob? Larson, over to you.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Jacob. Sir, it was wonderful listening to you, sir. And we all know that the biggest form of discovery is to discover oneself. And it was right for in this level of speech that one had to discover his or her own style of communication or speech. Toastmaster Jacob, you started with a question which grabbed the attention of all the speakers or all the listeners, and it was very like perfect. The time and tone of that question was very perfect for the audience to relate to, and you grab everyone's attention to yourself. That was wonderful, sir. And what could I tell more? You were not I it was you were not gaslighting about, you know what your flaws were, and you told what your past mistakes were, and you know what your mistakes are. So I am nervous now to tell you what, as an evaluator, what I can add to that. But anyways, but I have to tell a few things. Firstly, it was wonderful your start. You started with a question, wonderful, and you gave your experience about your working at working in abroad, and you're meeting someone that meet you at this side, or instead of meet he used join. So that I was thinking, what is this? I waited till the end to connect it to what you want actually say. So that was good that you used your experience in this speech. But also I want to add, so that you can the essence of the speech could be elevated to a new level. There was the speech was a little monotonous, so a little voice modulation would have made that speech a bit more, what do you say, it would be much better. Second thing is some phrases like I'm not very sure that if I could tell this or the grammarian would tell this, but some phrases you could have used a better phrase, like uh, over the instead of speaking over the mobile, it could have been made over the phone or something. That small things, and so it was wonderful. You started with a question, it was good, and then you told about your flaws, then you told about your experience, and there were some suggestions that uh, I have few suggestions about the voice modulation and some phrases. But at the end, I want to give a small suggestion that if you could add the emotions when you say something. I don't know whether you told about or you lost someone recently. So if I don't know whether it was prepared or not, but if it was prepared, if there could be little emotions, it would have been, we could all connect it to that. So overall, it was wonderful speech and it was very good listening to you, sir. I wish you all the best for all your future speeches. Thank you so much, and over to General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you, Larson. May I now call upon Nikita to evaluate Toastmaster Ashrita. Over to you, Nikita.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Veera. Toastmaster Ashita, my target speaker, you took on a very age-old topic and delivered it with slight twist. I'm telling it age-old because I remember studying about this in third standard, which I must confess was a very long time ago. So since then, I've been hearing this topic from my teachers, and we have been covering this topic every. I'm sure even kids even now read and study about this, about rainwater harvesting, and yet you gave this a slight twist. When you started off with a very intriguing note. You showed us a picture, asked us to guess it, so immediately it piqued our interest, and we could because when you start off on an interesting note, you said the tone of the speech very well at that moment. So but when you mentioned the topic of rainwater harvesting, I must confess I was a little worried because, like I said, it is a very well-known, very well discussed topic, and I didn't think that there was anything new to learn about this. I still remember my moral science textbooks with the little buckets and all that, the pictures, basically what we used to study. But your speech today was a blend of theoretical knowledge as well as your personal experience about how you were interested in this, how you were interested in taking up rainwater harvesting, and it honestly made it very connectable to the audience, very relatable to the audience. The pictorial representations that you had, the pictures that you showed with the diagrams and everything, it ensured that the audience could not just understand what you're saying, but also follow as to what you're trying to say. And this was regarding the content, the delivery of your speech as well. I have observed a few of your speeches earlier, and you are a very good speaker. But today it felt like you were in your element. Because it felt that you were completely at ease. You're not just delivering a speech; you're talking to the audience, which, in my personal opinion, is the best kind of speech because it makes sure that the audience is completely connected to you and is following your every word. And you were not just delivering a lecture, you were making sure that you were explaining a particular point, and you made sure that the audience understood. And I really liked at the end how you ensured that each and every person was answered, every query was answered. And if you did not know, you told them, I do not know this, but I will let you know, and you followed through. I can see that you have posted the answer. I think what Toastmaster Zina, she had asked you a question, and you have posted the answer in the chat box. So this was really well done. And usually the follow through is not there, but you did this, and this is really commendable. And I liked how you ended on a very beautiful note about you gave a very good message about conserving energy. So this I don't believe in giving recommendations for the sake of giving recommendations just because I have to. And today I honestly say I do not have any recommendations to give to you. I thought that it was a very good speech. You had just the right amount of voice modulation and the right amount of gestures, and everything about you. The basic purpose of a speech is to ensure that the audience understands it. And today everything that you did, the way you delivered it as well as the content, made sure that the audience understood your speech, and that was very evident in the questions that they answered. So this was a very good speech. I wish you all the best for your future speeches. Thank you, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Nikita. All the three evaluators really did a very heart, give the evaluations from the heart, I should say. I'm skipping a protocol. Bharti has to leave a little early, so she would like to do her grammarian's role first. So before the counter and the timer, may I call upon Bharti to give her grammarian's report?
Yeah, sorry for that. You'll have to pardon me. I didn't think it would go on for more than 1.5 hours. Yeah. Today as grammarian, I have only to say that most people all of you who spoke here are very familiar with the language, you're free in the language, you're at home in the language. So if I point out something that can be improved, it is so that all of us can learn. It's a pleasure to be here as grammarian because The words used are simple and smooth, and we go back with much learning too. So some things that I have noted, Izuddin started with the art of life. It was nice to hear a speaker at the icebreaker saying the art of life. And I have an analytical approach, and the pronunciation of the word poem, we were taught it as poem. So it's very difficult for us to undo it and say poem, but he did it correctly. I think the students these days are taught it as poem. Good one. A map of a perfect world, he said. That was a good usage too. Izuddin said native to Mangalore. Now, native to Mangalore is used when you're talking about a species. The tiger is a native to India, or some mango, Mundappa mango is native to Mangalore. But when you're talking of human beings, I'm a native of Mangalore. And I believe upon, I heard, it is I believe in, it could have been a slip. Going to Jacob, I have to say, Izuddin, your language was very formal, and it was a change from the informal style that we hear at Toastmasters, because even formality is needed sometimes. So I did enjoy the formality of it. Going to Jacob, Jacob, you're fluent and your language is very simple. You're at home with the language. I liked no high sounding words you said, you used. I like that. And in a gentlemanly way, you sounded like the gentleman that you are when you said gentlemanly way. There were some things like pronunciation. The pronunciation of the word pronunciation, I heard it as pronunciation. The word noun doesn't, the sound noun is not used there. It is none actually. So that's something that maybe we'll have to think about. And to go ahead from there, comprehensible was pronounced very correctly. Choicest, I heard, it is choicest. And uneasiness is not unease, it is unease, there's no uneasiness. Deluge, I heard it as deluge, it is deluge. Ashrita, good usage to give you more insight, totally rainwater harvested. Ashrita's was a technical speech, and that also gives us inputs. I mean, many of us need to make technical speeches sometimes. Debris, pronounced very correctly. Microns of mesh. Large frontiers, horrendous job that you used in your question answer session. It was not a written thing, so good usage there. Fluoridated. I think that's a dentist thing, fluoridated, right? Yes. See, there I am. Okay. Then you said, did you all understand? I think we could work on it to say, I guess that is very clear. Did you all understand is not very complimentary to the audience. We have to learn to say, I guess you understood. I'm sure you understood, sort of thing. So we can avoid questioning there. And back early, I think you wanted to say earlier, or in the early days. And salination, I heard it as salination. It is salination. Yeah. Their table topic speakers, Anita puts in a lot of effort, and I appreciate you very highly, Anita, for taking up a table topic and speaking it the way you did. Much appreciation to you. Suman used aspire, visualize, accomplish, good usage. Zina had a very powerful statement. No, Nikita, I think, used a very powerful statement, judge a book by its cover. Zina was very smooth and very comfortable as she spoke. Roel, I kept in mind, we are all products of our choices, good usage. Fiona, you speak from the heart was good, Fiona. Using the simple present is not very common. I like simple present usage. It shows that you've done it earlier, you're doing it now, and you'll do it in future too. It's a very complimentary usage. You speak from your heart. And you use the Google. We don't use the definite article before Google. You just refer to Google, not the Google. Then make it quite better, you said. Make it better would be better. And Larson told about, when you use told, Larson, you have to always say told whom. We can't say told about. You say you said something about, that's okay. The moment that told is a very complicated usage, you have to have an object for told. Nikita, once again, intriguing note and pictorial representation in your evaluation. I heard it as in your element. It's always in your elements, plural. And in my personal opinion is not necessary, in my opinion, because your opinion is always personal. These are some things that I noted. As I said, dear friends, a pleasure to be here at Inspiron. Good language, simple language, and language which touches the heart. Over to you, Toastmaster Veera, DTM Veera.
Thank you, Bharti. As usual.
I have to leave. You'll have to pardon me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bharati.
May I now call upon the timer, Maithili. She has done a very thorough job throughout, thankless job, timer's job. So over to you, Maithili.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So coming to the time taken by the speakers. So TM Izzuddin, like he took 4 minutes, 7 seconds. TM Jacob sir, like he took 7 minutes, 39 seconds. TM Ashrita, she took 22 minutes, 15 seconds. Coming to the time taken by the table topic speakers. TM Anita took 59 seconds. TM Suman took 2 minutes, 8 seconds. TM Fiona took 2 minutes, 5 seconds. TM Zina took 1 minute, 17 seconds. TM Nikita took 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Yeah, now coming to the time taken by the evaluators. TM Fiona, she took 3 minutes, 50 seconds. TM Larson took 3 minutes, 39 seconds. And TM Nikita took 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Yeah, over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Maithili. I now call upon Suman to give the accounters report.
Yeah. So my job was to note down any overused words or filler sounds, such as words such as and, well, you know, and sounds like okay. So TM Ithaf, TM Jacob, and TM Ashrita, I found them using only one or two or Fiona has used 8 to 9 Amit around 4 to 5, Anita around 3 to 4, and Nikita 1 to 2 That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Suman. One more quite thankless job, like the timer. You have to concentrate constantly on the hours being counted instead of enjoying the speeches. So coming to my general evaluators report, extremely gratifying meeting today, I should say. In the beginning, we were about 18, 19 of us, so there was a very good attendance. Fiona opened the meeting in her usual informal style, after which Amit took over as the TMOD, and as usual, he had a story to share with us, and you had an introduction which resonated with the theme of the day. We had 3 speakers, one a debutant speaker, and 2 speakers who have been members of multiple clubs. I remember Ashrita was a member of Winners Club some time back, and Jacob sir has been in Toastmaster in the Gulf, and you brought in all your experience as a speaker and your knowledge into your speech today. Table topic master Royal, lovely ride with Alice in Wonderland. I loved the topics. I loved the way you connected each one to the other, and then at the end there was something of a take home which said everything is open to multiple interpretations. So it was something quite unique, and I think all the speakers also rose to the occasion, and we had a good session, table topics too. Evaluations, as I said, were all from the heart. straight. Whatever was there, instead of sugarcoating and all, we are all here to learn. So we need to be told what we can do to improve ourselves. And I think all the evaluators did that very sincerely. Coming to my tag team, uh, meticulous report by Maithili and Suman. Next time, I think you opt to be speakers if you all want to enjoy the meeting, though we do need our timers and our counters. Bharti, as usual, a lot of learning from her grammarian's report. There's always a takeaway when she speaks. So all in all, as I said at the beginning, a very gratifying session. I only wish everybody is able to stay back till the end. It's very disheartening. You have 18, 19 people, and then at the end it comes down to 10, 11. But I think each one of us have got some other commitments too. So happy that all of you all have stayed back. No point in saying anything to you all because we are the ones who have stayed back. So excellent meeting, and over to you, Amit, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Veera, for the general evaluation session. Thank you so much for all the evaluators also who have encouraged the speakers today. Before I end, let me just tell you something about when we reflect our path. Do we always think about connecting the dots? Do we always try and connect the dots of, of the past that we have or the path that we have taken? Can we try? Can we try and connect the dots and try and learn something out of it rather than lamenting about, oh, this has happened, that has happened, why this has happened, and cribbing about it. Instead, we learn from our mistakes. We try and not repeat those mistakes and try and get new ideas, come out with new ideas, and it'll just reward in different ways, and it will help you in providing solutions to the problem, and you become a problem solving person. So that's what has happened to me, and my experience as a member of Toastmasters, a member of Inspiron Club Toastmaster, as a district leader. So I have learned myself to be in the problem and solve the problem. So indeed, by reflecting the path that I've taken, I feel satisfied. With that, I will want to tell out the results for today. Uh, we have the best speaker, that is Toastmaster Ashrita. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ashrita. Best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Fiona, and best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Nikita. Congratulations once again to all the winners for today. And before I adjourn the meeting, on behalf of the President Toastmaster Fiona, I, as VP Education of Inspiron Club, would like to tell the members of Inspiron Club that we will announce the new board in the coming few weeks, and people who are interested in giving the speeches and completing their projects, you may do so, but it's a request that we will be uh, holding the approvals for the next term, if you all can permit. But if you want it to be approved in this term itself, we can do so, no issues. But it's a request that we can save up some points for the club for the next term. And 28th and 29th is going to be the district election for the division directors and the other district leaders. So the president and the VP Education will be there for the election as the voting candidates, voting members, and requesting the members to see us live on the Facebook. I think they're going to have a Facebook live session of all this, and I have to announce this myself. I will be representing and sorry, I have nominated myself as the division director for the new division that is coming up, that is Division L. Division F is going to split, and 12 clubs will be under this division. So Inspiron also will be there in this new division uh, to come.
Is it approved, Amit? The new division is approved?
It is approved. It is approved. I've already what do you call, nominated myself for the Division L, and withdrawn from Division F.
Oh, great. That's great news.
So it's a huge, thank you very much. It's a huge responsibility, a new division and a new set of clubs, a new area. I'll be needing a lot of support from Inspiron Club. Inspiron Club is back into action. It has risen like a phoenix. And indeed, with the help of the coaches and all the members who have shown interest and helped us a lot in achieving the president's distinguished status, and I making Division F proud. And I think that we all will be in a good state even the next year also. So with that, I adjourn today's meeting. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, Amit.
Congratulations, Amit.
Thank you.
Congrats, Amit. Great
you.
leadership.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you to everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wonderful meeting. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.